Hello everyone, welcome to another video from Lizzie Stamps. I'm Beth Robinson and Stampin' Up! Independent Demonstrator. Today I wanted to show you one of the new beautiful suites that we have in our mini catalog. And today we are going to be showing how to create your own pearlized paper from the new suite Sand and Sea. So I'm going to show you today, there we go, how to make this suite that we have right here on page 40. This is our time-sensitive catalog that runs January through June. If you would like a copy of this catalog, as well as our SaleABration Catalog that's going on right now from January 5th until February 2021. And for every $50 you spend, you can pick out of our SaleABration Catalog some free products. So there are some really great, exciting things in here to share with you. But if you would like any of these catalogs, you can get a hold of me in the link below that I will be putting in on this video. So today we're going to share some of the products that are in this suite. And it's called the Sand and Sea Suite. And I'm going to show you some of the products that come in this suite. If you wanted to buy the whole suite, right here, it gives you the price of $92. So what is included in this suite is you get the bundle right here, Friends Are Like Seashells. And I'll hold that up so you can see it. And it comes with the stamp set, and it comes with framelits that match the stamp set. And I'm going to show you the stamp set and right now. So here you have, this is the Friends Are Like Seashells, and you'll notice that the images are 75 at 75%. So it's, when you open it up, you'll notice that they are going to be a little bit bigger. And you get two sheets. These are our photopolymer stamp sets, so they're clear, they're easy to use, especially with two-step stamping. You have some beautiful shell images, as well as the background image, so for your two-step stamping. They don't necessarily match the image right on top, but it's just to give a watercolor effect. And you'll notice the beautiful writings and the stamp sayings in here. I can show you. So you have sentiments for birthday, you have sentiments for thank you, and for you. I love the writing. I love that there's a script with a regular typeset sentiments. So it's a really fun, versatile set to use. And here are the framelits that go with it. This framelit right here, I'm going to show you. It also comes with a 3D embossing folder. And this is a nice raised image of seashells and seaweed in the background. So when you run this through, and I'm going to show you one of the, here's one right here that I've already run through. We're going to be making a card using this. And this is using the Seaside Spray cardstock. And I already ran it through the Big Shot. So you can tell, you just put it in your, and I ran it through the Big Shot. And then if you want to, you can take the framelit and you can cut out the images. So after you've raised them, you can cut out the images. You just match up the paper that you've already run through the embossing folder and then cut it out. This is really pretty, and one of the cards that I've made using this technique is, this is part of the designer paper or series paper that comes in the cards in the suite. And so what I did is I ran this sheet through the Big Shot, or I'm sorry, the die cut machine, and then I went ahead and cut it out with the framelit. So you get the beautiful images. And then I took one of our glitter, this is our one of our Wink of Stella pens, it's clear, and then I brushed over the raised images with the Wink of Stella pen. So this is just one way that you can use this suite. And on the inside, I stamped "Wishing you the very best." And I just took the shell and I stamped it with So Saffron, but I stamped it off once, so it gave a lighter image. So, and then "Wishing you the very best" is in Flirty Flamingo. We also have these wonderful, cute embellishments, and they are part of the suite is the opal rounds. And they're pearlescence, and they have little flakes of just opalescent color. So it's really pretty. They almost look like bubbles in the ocean. But depending on how the light shines, it's really fun to see all the different colors that shine in the light. So this is a nice little pack to have on hand. And with this set, again, also you have other dies that cut out some of the images. So the sand dollar, here's the sand dollar, and then the starfish, and then these cut out some of the seaweed. So I really like how fun and versatile this is. When I'm storing, when I have dies that match the stamp set, I like keeping everything together. So I have it in here and have it together, and that's how I keep, so I know what goes with what. I can also put in my embossing folder if I'd like to in this stamp set as well, just so it's all together. So that way I know what goes with what. So that's a nice idea. So then what else comes with this suite is some stickers. And these stickers are, I'll open it up, but they're really stamped on like some pearlized paper. So you have some of the conch oyster shells, and you'll notice, see, there's a little shine to them. Then you also have the conch shells in Flirty Flamingo. And then you have the starfish in So Saffron. And these are self-adhesive, so they pull off, and they have a nice thickness to them. And so you get 3 sheets of those. And that's just a nice little way to add. You can add them to envelopes. You can add them onto your card. I will show you some cards in a minute that show that. Also in this suite is the Pearlized. You've got the Pearlescent specialty paper. It comes in 2 sheets, and it is pearl. You can see that it's got a pearlized. I'll take one out so you can see. I always like to keep everything in its same self-adhesive packaging, but you can see how this shines. It's thin. It's a thinner than our shimmer white paper, and it's like very vanilla. So it's very nice. It's got a nice pearlescence to it. But you get 2 sheets, and for $4, so that's $2 a sheet. But I think what's exciting is that with the way the embossing folder is and how you can create so many different background cards with this suite, you can use the technique I'm going to show you today, making your own pearlized paper. So I'm going to show you that today. But I wanted to show you the paper pack that comes. And you have a gradation of color from Seaside Spray to Flirty Flamingo to So Saffron. And it's like a watercolor wash background. And on the other side, you have a seashell print. And some of the seashells will cut out with the framelits. So this starfish right here, that's the same size. And I think this one as well. So it is quite versatile. Here is a watercolor wash Sahara sand. It almost looks like the sand. And on the other side here, you have some bigger images. So similar to what the stamp set offers, you have your outlined image of the shell and then the watercolor wash background. And not all of the shells will cut out with the framelit, but some of them do. And you can play with that. So there's another one. This one, again, it's like the blue of the water. This is a watercolor wash of the water. And you have Seaside Spray in here. And then on this side, you have urchins. So all different background. That's really fun. So you have Sahara Sand, Seaside Spray, Flirty Flamingo. That's really pretty. And here again is another wash of color. This is almost like a sunset. It's really, I love this paper. So when I show you some of the cards, I did use some of that paper. Here again is another watercolor wash, and you have a little So Saffron, Flirty Flamingo, Melon Mambo is in there as well. A little bit of Sahara Sand. I love how these colors blend together. And here is a background of the sand dollars that are quite fun. And I think some of these do cut out with the framelit that is given in the suite. And here's another blue background of Seaside Spray. And then on the other side, you have these fun little dots that are throughout. So almost like if you look at the sea urchin, so the same kind of lines that are in the sea urchin background. So fun. Okay. So those are the paper, and it comes in 12 by 12. So you get 12 sheets, 2 of each design. And so now I'm going to show you some of the cards that I've made with this suite. So here's the first one that I showed you. And again, you can see that I've used the Wink of Stella. But I did use the background paper and cut it out with the embossing folder after, or the framelit after I ran it through the embossing folder. So there's one there that I made. And the next one, let me show you this one. This one I did use the pearlescent paper that you get. And what I did is I took a sponge, or not actually a sponge, I used the, here's one of the, I used this petal pink, and I used the blends. So after I ran it through the embossing folder, cut it out with the framelit or the die, I went ahead and just took my blends and colored it in. And then also colored it in with the, the seaweed. And so that gives it a little bit more of a, little more depth because you can see the color. And then I added a few of those opal rounds that you see. And depending on what colors you have in the background, it really shows. So this one shows a little bit more of the blue when you have it on the blue background. And then this is from the Tasteful Touches bundle with these framelits right here, which I love, which are the Tasteful Label dies. So I've used that, and I really liked using those. And then I open it up, and again here I've stamped with Flirty Flamingo and with Seaside Spray. I like stamping the sentiments over an image, and I could have lightened it up by stamping off the sand dollar just to give it the writing a little bit more oomph. But that is a really nice, fun card to use. It's important when you have the white when you're using the basic white now that we have paper, it's good to use the thick because you really can't see what you've written on the inside. The thick is very good because it is a little bit more sturdy. So when you're using a white background cardstock for the base. So I do like using that. And our new basic white paper is really nice, and it's very comparable to the Whisper White paper that we used to carry, but the company went out of business, and so now we have a new company that we're using that's making the basic white. So, and this is another fun card that I really enjoyed making, and this gives you an idea. So what I took was the postage. It is the rectangular postage stamp, but I took our seabed embossing folder and used So Saffron, Petal Pink, and the Seaside Spray, and I ran those through the embossing folder, and then I punched it out using the rectangular postage stamp punch, and then I made a design and that made that my background, and I layered it on a Flirty Flamingo background, and then I took the Pearlescent paper and again ran it through the die cut machine, and then I cut it out. And so you'll get your whole image similar like this, but what I did is I just cut out the seashells and then the seaweed, and I paper pieced all of it together. So, and then here I have some of the extra that I just took and popped them up with dimensionals. So there's that card. So today what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to make the pearlized background using our cardstock. So here we have Petal Pink, and then we have I'm so sorry, it's Blushing Bride. And then this is using So Saffron. And so using our new blender brushes, these blender brushes are so nice. I know they've been around a long time, but Stampin' Up! Just started carrying them. You get a pack of 3. I'm going to show you. It comes in a pack of 3 like this. And for $12, you get 3 of these. So this one I'll use for our, since we'll be using today the all-purpose ink, and this is Champagne Mist, and we have the Frost White. So, but I'm going to be using this one today. And so I'll always keep this one when I'm using the shimmer paints. And then you can also have one, see I've used Petal Pink on this before, but they are so soft, and all you do is just take a little bit of rubbing alcohol and you just brush it out to clean it. Or you could even use your Stampin' Chamois, which we have, and here's my Stampin' Chamois, and you can just brush it off to clean it a little bit. So you can use them over and over again, and the ink isn't from prior use isn't going to show up. But I would do your pinks together. I would do your shimmers together. I would do your blues together. So I will be buying more of these. I only bought 3, the one pack that comes with 3. So today I'm going to be showing you how to, oops, let me go this way. There we go. So I'm going to be showing you how to make this beautiful background with the pearlescent effect. And I got this idea from Linda Heller. She's another Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I will put the link to her video below, and so you can watch her video on how she created this. So I love that I'm able to create using ideas from other demonstrators. And that's what's so wonderful about this community, is that we love to case from other people, which is copy and share everything. But I definitely did not get the credit for this, but when I saw it, I said, oh, definitely, I would want to share that. So here's one that I use. I also use the Stitch So Sweetly dies and for this one. And again, on the inside, you'll see this. And I love using the Sahara sand and then the So Saffron for the shell. And then in this one, I used the background paper as a focal point and then stamped my image. And then I'm using a little bit of linen thread as well. And here's the inside of this card. So, okay, so how do we make this card? Okay, so today what we're going to be doing is we are starting with a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, or I'm sorry, 4 1/4 by 11 piece of So Saffron and scored at 5 1/2. All right, and when you score, you'll see that you have your indent there, but you're going to be when you fold in, you're going to fold in on the mountain side. And then I take my bone folder and I just want to make sure that I crease it so it lays flat. Okay. All right, so we have that piece there. And then I have my piece of Seaside Spray that I have already run through the embossing folder. And so I'm going to go ahead and create the effect of the Pearlized. So I have a container here that I've had, and I use this container over and over again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shake up my champagne mist, and I'm going to pour some into this container. There we go. And then I'm going to take my blender brush. I'm going to take my blender brush, take it in there, and then I'm just going to go ahead and this goes on so smoothly. So I'm just going to go ahead and brush over the cardstock to get that pearlescent effect. And you'll want to let this dry. It dries pretty quickly. So you can see right there how and you can add more. I've noticed too that sometimes I want maybe the shells to have a little bit more shimmer to them. So, and don't mind getting shimmer. This is a little messy and you will get some shimmer on you, glitter, but the mess is worth the effect. So, and then you can hold it up and see how you like it. And I love that effect. That is so great. I love it. Just really shines. It's just an awesome way to get that wonderful effect. If you want it to dry a little bit more, you can go ahead and use your heat tool to dry it. But we're going to leave it like that. And then when you're cleaning, I have just some wipes right here that I like to use. They're antibacterial wipes, which of course we can't get enough of right now, can we? And I'm just going to go ahead and clean this out and get this ready for the next project. Let that air dry a little bit. And also too, I just go ahead and I take the brush and I'm going to go ahead and brush off some of the excess. This brush does not harden with the shimmer paint. It still stays soft and it'll just stain it, but you can go ahead and put rubbing alcohol on a paper towel and wipe it off. But this antibacterial wipe just does the same thing for me. So there we go. And just let that dry. And I just put everything in here. And I put it in a Ziploc bag just to keep the brush moist. Okay. Now, so then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, and this is probably still a little dry or a little wet. It is. So, but that's okay. I'm just going to make a little bit of a mess. Then what I'm going to do is take this label that I cut out from the Tasteful Labels dies, and I've already cut it out, and I'm going to lay that on top of the cardstock. So I'm going to go ahead and get my stamp and seal and put that on. So here's my stamp and seal. Lay that on there, and I think I want it to go right about there. Okay. And then I'm going to take some linen thread, and I anchor my linen thread usually, let's see, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and just anchor it, put tape on either side, and I want to take the linen thread and put it around about 3 times. So you can see there's 1, and then again 2, I'm sorry, and 3. And then I can anchor it and cut it. Okay, so there you have, and you can adjust it the way you want to, just to make it more even. Okay, that's all right. Make it more taut. There we go. Okay, so then I'm going to go ahead and put dimensionals in the back. Let me get my dimensionals, and of course I'm almost at the end of these pack of dimensionals, so I'm just going to cut this and add this to the card. So I'm going to be liberal with these just because it is still wet and I want it to lay flat. There we go. Okay. I might add a few more to the background. So I've got another pack right here. I like to keep them real close to me because I really do go through a lot of dimensionals. And you'll notice I'm being quite liberal with a lot of, there we go. So now I've got that, and I'm just going to go ahead and take off the backings. There we go. I can go ahead, you know, if you're making a lot of these cards and you know, I would go ahead and use all different colors. And I'm using the colors from the paper pack that comes with this suite, but, and make them ahead of time so that they dry. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and, it's open. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and put this on. All right, so there we go. That's what we've got so far. And look at that. It's just stunning. It's so pretty. I just love that. And then I have one of the labels from the Textured Labels die set that I'm going to go ahead and stamp an image from. And this time of year, I find that a lot of birthdays are going on. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp that happy birthday. And it is photopolymer. So what I like to do is I have my paper piercing mat. It's used a lot, as you can see. So I have that a lot, and it has grid lines on it, so it's a lot easier, and I just line it up so I know that it's straight. Then I'll put that down, and then I have my image right here, and I'm going to go ahead and get Sahara sand and stamp it. There we go, and stamp it down. Okay, and that's pretty straight. I'm pretty happy with that. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and clean off my stamp. There we go. You can tell that's dirty, but I keep running it through the water and rinsing it out, and I use it over and over again and keep it in the DVD case so it stays nice and moist. Okay, so I'll put that back later. And then let me put this away. And I'm going to go ahead again and use my dimensionals and pop up this on top of the layer. I'm going to anchor it. I'm going to use 4. There we go. And I think I'll do one in the middle. As you can see, this is why I go through a lot of dimensionals. Every time I place an order, I am ordering like 3 packs of dimensionals because I go through 2 packs a month easily. And it comes with a 3-pack, so you get 300. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and layer that on top. All right, and if I wanted to, which I didn't, I could have sponged around the edges like this card, which I did with So Saffron. I just took a sponge and the ink and just, so again, that gives it a little more oomph and it's just not so stark. So I wish I would have done that, but I didn't. So now I'm going to add some of the opal rounds. I'm going to add one to either side of the saying. And there are 2 different sizes. You have this size and then this smaller size. So I think I'm going to use the smaller size. Here we go. One there. And another one right over here. There. Okay. If I wanted to, I could add a couple more to the embossed front, but I think I like it the way it is right now. Just so. All right. So we have that done. And now for the inside of the card, because you always need to have the inside. And I think I'm going to do the same thing that I did here with this one. Wishing you the very best. So I'm going to get the shell, and then we're going to use the big conch shell right here. Put that on there. And we're going to use, I think I want to use So Saffron since we have this background is So Saffron. So I'm going to go ahead and get the So Saffron. And I'm going to stamp off. So I'm going to stamp it. And then I'm going to stamp off and then stamp. I want to go this way. And it doesn't have to be exact, but there you go. So it's just a nice, I love the lined images, the real detail they give for the shells. All right, and then what we're going to do is we are going to put the saying on top in Sahara sand. Okay, so again, let's just put this down. I'm going to use Wishing You the Very Best. I'm going to line it up. And get my Sahara sand out again. Stamp. And here we go. Okay, perfect. All right. We have that, and then I'm going to go ahead and put this in the card with stamp and seal. There we go. And into the card. Okay. There we go. Perfect. Now, don't forget, we do have some, we used to carry personalized stamps. So you'll see the personalized stamp that I have, and this has my name, and it has the Stampin' Up! Logo on it. And if I sell any cards, I need to have that Stampin' Up! Logo on there. But they do have some that say created by, and then you can just sign your name on them. But I really, I wish they still carried these, but I always make sure that I stamp my, oh, see, I got a little crazy there, but I know that, that this card was hand stamped by me, and a lot of people love knowing that you made the card yourself. So definitely do that. And also on your envelope, you need to stamp an image, or you can even use some of those shell stickers that come in the suite. And that way that people know that, oh, this is a handmade card. So it's really great. So that is the card that we made today. This whole suite is fabulous. I love it. I just want to keep playing with it more and more, but let me get all the cards for you to see after I clean up my mess. Hopefully you can see. So we have the 3 pearlized cards. Let me put this, there you go. And we have the 3 pearlized front cards that we've made. And then we also have these other great cards that were made. I really hope that you enjoy this. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. You can follow me on Lizzie Stamps on Instagram, and also Lizzie Stamps Stampin' Up, which is my Facebook page. And you will see the video on there, as well as following my YouTube channel as well. So hopefully you guys learned something fun today, and I hope to see you again soon. Happy stamping!